suspected terrorist with ties to al-Qaeda and a plan to put 9/11 to shame with a 1,000-pound bomb meant to topple the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. Well, of course, he failed. But glancing through today's newspapers, you'd wonder if the whole thing even happened. Because forget front page news, this thing was barely any news. Try page 26 in the New York Times. It was page 9 in the Washington Post. At least a slightly more promising page 3 in USA Today. So essentially read it and weep. To terror expert Mike Scheuer on our collective shrug. Mike, man, oh man, I mean, obviously had it happened, it would have been a very different reaction. But are we that blasé?
No, I don't think so, Neil. I think I have a little problem myself with this kind of FBI sting operation because it doesn't really let us know what's going on in the country. But I think the most important thing here is it again undoes the Obama scenario, if you will, that al-Qaeda died with Osama. Because the gentleman that they enticed into doing this was clearly enticed because he thought he was dealing with al-Qaeda and the memory, or at least the inspiration of Osama bin Laden. And it really is the media, especially the Post and the New York Times and the major news channels have really hidden the expansion of al-Qaeda in the years since President Obama has taken office.
Now, I always wonder, and you follow this far closer and more expertly than I ever would, that we see some of the idiots who pop up, like this guy. Probably not a wise move if you're trying to be undercover to announce on the internet you want to start a jihad. Probably not the sharpest of attacks. But I always think of the underwear bomber. I think of the shoe bomber. You know, these guys are not Mensa candidates. But I really am saying, not to be dismissive, that for every one of them, there is a Muhammad Atta. And I'm not trying to praise him, the mastermind among them behind the 9/11 attacks, who are craftily planning stuff with far more earnestness and intelligence and deadly accuracy. And that I wonder cynically if sometimes these guys are deflections.
Well, I'm not sure if they're deflections or the thirst of the law enforcement community to show that it's earning its money. Again, in America, we're really at a dead end to know really what's real and what's not real anymore. But what we can see over...
What if the FBI had not cooperated or had an undercover agent with this particular guy? Would he have found another guy? Would he have succeeded? Or was it a good thing the FBI did what it did?
Well, of course it's a good thing they did what they did, but it clouds the issue, Neil. I think the real issue for the United States is, and no one has done it, is simply to put a world map up from 2001 and to put one up for 2012. And the expansion and the geographical reach and the numbers of people fighting for al-Qaeda and its allies has grown a great deal in the last decade, and there's no one who's reporting it really on the Post or at the New York Times. And of course, we're providing air support, or we did in Libya, and it looks like we want to in Syria, to people who are really in Afghanistan would be called the Taliban. The Obama era, in terms of Islamist militancy, has been your head in the sand era, and America is going to pay for it very, very dearly.
All right. I hope you're wrong, Michael, but you've been spookily prescient. Always good seeing you, Michael. Be well.
My pleasure, sir. Thank you.